Blog Talk Radio.
Yes, indeed, baby. You are now tuned in to DJ Shaun on the HILL Top Radio Show. What that is, Hilltop Mother, shut your mouth. What? I was only talking about the baddest radio station on the land, you heard me? Oh, well, what that is?
Hilltop, Hilltop. Hilltop Radio. Hilltop Radio. Hilltop Radio. Hilltop Radio Show.
Welcome. This is the Hilltop Radio Show, and you already know who I am. DJ Shaun is in the house, and tonight we're gonna take things. We're gonna shift them to another gear. I want to welcome Miss Peggy. Welcome to the show, my main man Al Davis. Welcome to the show as well, man. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Robin will be with us in a half an hour. Mr. No Weapon will be with us in a half an hour. So tonight we're gonna get into some real talk, some real discussion, you guys. And this young lady that I have on here, she spent over 20 years in the correctional facility. She wrote a book called Inside the Dark Underbelly of Rikers Island. So you guys know what Rikers Island is. That's up there in New York.
That's right.
And you guys here right now, this is Robin K. Miller. Robin, I want to thank you for, we've had our talks up till tonight, and I want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule. And this is your first interview in 2 years, and that's an
almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years, ain't that some shit? That's what I'm talking about. And
no, thank you. You're welcome, but thank you.
No, and I'm pleased to have you. I mean, I know a lot about you. I had the book. I've been checking you out on social media. You're doing your thing. And, they say you're a troublemaker, so talk to us. How you doing tonight? Welcome to the show.
Good trouble.
Good trouble. You're an author. You're a model. You're a spiritual speaker. You're an entrepreneur. And again, thank you for being a part of our show tonight.
And I'm a filmmaker and screenwriter.
Yeah, she does it all, y'all.
Executive producer, set designer. That comes from being an independent filmmaker.
So tell us, welcome, and tell us who Robin K. Miller is. She 22 years old. You started in the, God, I'm a correction.
As a correction officer.
Correctional officer.
As a correction officer.
At 22,
21 going on 22, or either 20 going on 21. I was young. In my 20s, going into from the projects to the prison system.
That's right, Brownsville housing projects out of Brooklyn. But
that's right.
You was born in Queens. I
was born in Queens General, and then we moved straight to Brooklyn. I did 25 years out there. As a matter of fact, Mike Tyson's from Brownsville as well.
All right.
And our motto growing up was Brownsville never ran, never will.
There it is.
That was our motto growing up.
So you wrote this book about the corrections facilities. Why did you come about writing the book about the corrections in New York City, Robin?
Well, initially, because I went through a lot on the job. I describe it as being in a battered relationship with the New York City Department of Correction. So initially, when I was doing the first draft for the book, which was 500 pages, it was about my gripes and all the things that my colleagues and my bosses, all the things that they did to me. And as I started writing, and after I finished reading the first draft, it was like it appeared to be an angry black woman book. So I edited, and it turned out to be a manual. I literally explained and described each facet of the correction department, from what is an inmate, what is a correction officer, the different like state correction, city correction, solitary confinement. I explained it to the public because I realized that a lot of people don't know what goes on behind the prison walls, and you can't expect them to, because if they've never been to prison or jail, or they've never had a family member in prison or jail, they have no idea. And it's not like people wake up in the morning and say, "Oh, I wonder what's going on in the county jail." Like people don't know, but it's a plantation. It's modern day slavery. It's a plantation. And as a matter of fact, Rikers Island owned and named after Rikers, who used to be a plantation owner. So it's a lot of history just in Rikers Island alone. But I wrote the book, eventually it was about me, and God made me write it about the actual prison system, jail system, period. And also, as you read in the first chapter, what people don't realize is that anybody can go to jail. You don't have to do anything wrong. Mm-hmm. And you can go to jail or prison or both.
That's right.
I just left it there, right?
Yeah. I thought you were going to keep talking for us, but...
I just left it there.
Yeah. So
I heard cricket.
So Robin... So all the people that are listening and everything, not only you have people that are locked up. You guys are locked up as well too. Correctional officers are locked up as well too. With with the convicts and mental illness and stuff. So your day, you spend 8 to 12 hours. Sometimes you guys do doubles and stuff like that. So you have to have. Your mental health is your mental health is just as the inmates, correct?
Well, it didn't affect me, and I didn't realize it until after I retired, after doing 20 years. It didn't affect me, so I thought. But I think, growing up in the projects helped me maneuver on Rikers Island and in the other facilities that I worked at. And I worked with the male prisoners. I didn't work with the female prisoners. I probably would have quit had I worked with the females. Yeah, I can't. But it was like for me, looking back now, it was like one big council session. Like, I became these prisoners' mothers, fathers, aunties, cousins, like, their minister, their spiritual advisor. Like, it was every time I came to work, and because they kept me with the inmates, because I wasn't in the office on my knees, so I had to work with the inmates, which I didn't have a problem with that. But it reminded me of being actually on the avenue in Brownsville, out in the streets. It's just that, everybody's just, because everybody's walking around where I worked at. And then when they're in the cells, it's like, I'm still in the back with them, just talking to them and, trying to basically do my job as far as reforming. But it didn't hit me until I retired. And it really didn't hit me until 9 years after I retired and I started writing the book. And then I realized it was like, wow, I couldn't believe I actually stayed. And believe me, I wanted to quit every year. And it wasn't because of the prisoners; it was because of my colleagues giving me hell every day.
Yeah, we're gonna jump into that. We're gonna jump into that a little bit later.
Yeah, but it wasn't being with the talking to the prisoners and being with the prisoners was my highlight, really, of the day. Looking back at it now, because my thing is, as long as you don't disrespect me, don't curse around me, don't smoke no weed around me, we good. You know what I'm saying? Like, we good.
Right. And
they listen, and no fighting, no cursing. We're good, and we're good. And they listen. Like, man, y'all are just, like, for me, y'all easy. Like, y'all, I can get y'all to do anything I want. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I get a lot of respect because of the way I am. And I can get y'all to do anything I want. If I want y'all to really do something, I can get you to do it. Crickets.
Oh yeah. I mean, I read. Oh yeah, I know. And just let everybody know, Miss Robin K. Miller is a beautiful woman. So just so you guys that are listening, yeah, she can make you do anything she wants. She is a beautiful young lady.
Not that I go out of my way to manipulate and and try to get them to do anything. But I was able, and I realized that after I retired. Because I got these, you're talking about being around men from age 80 that are not sentenced yet. Most of them still going back and forth to court. The ones that were sentenced only had a year or less. You're talking about anybody from a robber to a rapist to a murderer. Like, I'm around all of these types of people being accused of all of these heinous, non-heinous crimes. So I had to evaluate myself when I left. And I realized, I don't know if it's from growing up in the projects or whatever, the gift of the gab, but I'm real. See, that's the difference. Like, I'm real. They could spot a fake in a minute. You can't tell if they spot a fake. I'm real and I'm up front. And my thing is, I didn't come in there. I don't care why you here. I don't want to know why you here. I'm not here to play judge and jury. That's God's job. That was always my mindset going in. The main thing for me was respect.
That's right. Robin, let me do this. Let's go to chat. I read a little bit. I said I read your book, chapter 2. Explain I read it and I got the idea what it is. Explain to people what a correctional officer really is. What is a correctional officer?
The police are the jails. They're babysitters. We're high-paid babysitters. And as a matter of fact, if you work on Rikers Island right now, you're making $100,000 a year. We're babysitters. Police of the jails without the guns. We don't carry no guns. We're the police of the jails, cut and dry. We got the same powers that police have on the streets. We carry a firearm, off duty. We wear the same uniform. We get the same pay. The only difference is correctional officers make a lot more because of the overtime, something I did not do. 8 hours was enough for me. I was out. They told me you stuck. No, you stuck. I was No.
That's right. He said, fuck that shit. At 8 hours, I'm going to hell home. I ain't doing. Yeah, I feel you on that. Because it's a long 8 hours in the correction. So let's do this. Let's go to a quick a 30-second commercial, Robin, and we'll be right back with Robin K. Miller, you guys, the author of Inside the Dark Underbelly of Rikers Island, right here on the Hilltop Radio Show. And we'll be right back, you guys.
A dose of hope coming at ya.
Hey, this is your girl, Hope Cherie. Listen, be careful who you align yourself with and watch your surroundings. You know, you can't be around people who think that your growth is competition. And I live by the motto, if you can't be happy for me, then we have nothing in common. This message is brought to you by A Dose of Hope Radio and adoseofhope.org.
All right, you guys, welcome back. This is the Hilltop Radio Show. We got Robin K. Miller with us here live on the Hilltop Radio Show, you guys. And this is the one and only. So Robin, now let's get into a little deeper now. Your colleagues worried more about who the female guards, correctional officers, I won't say guards, correctional officers was sleeping with instead of concentrating on the inmates, correct?
Yeah. They was more interested in either who you were sleeping with or trying to sleep with you.
Now, you had that issue coming in at the age of 22, right? 21, 22, correct?
Oh, please. Coming on the job. First thing they did was put me in personnel. I was fresh meat. Hey, hold on. I was fresh meat. So they put me in personnel, I guess, see who can get first digs. Because then the personnel is the personnel officers. But it's not so much as them wanting to get at you. Then the bosses is always in there. You know, so you fresh meat, you know, like a piece of chicken in there. But I found, you know, all they had me doing in there was filing. And then I, found one day I'm in the filing cabinet. I'm bending down, and they bending down with me. Their eyes all up in the crack of my butt. So I was like, I was done. I was like, look, if you put me in here to have sex, it's not going to happen. I didn't come to work to F. I came to work. And they were furious that I even... because I was raw, really raw back then. They was furious with me, and they threw me out of there after that. They call themselves, we're going to put in there with the inmates. Yay! Because most of the guys, when I came on Rikers Island, not most of them, but a lot of them I knew from the streets. They grew up in the projects with me. So I was in my, I was in my own element inside the prison system. And those were the ones that protected me from the other inmates. So I didn't have to, I was never afraid in there. No, let me backtrack. I was only afraid maybe one time, mental observation patient. We call them 730s. I think I was only afraid with one time I had to watch the MOs, mental observation.
Wow.
So, yeah, any female that comes in there, they on them like, they don't even care what you look like, to be honest with you. They on like right on right, see who can get it first. And then a lot of females come in there, they don't want to work with the inmates. So they rather go in the office and get on their knees and be passed around. Not me, honey. That's why I always worked in with the inmates. I never had those office positions. So I was fine, though.
All right. We got some other people on here. Welcome, Miss Peggy. Welcome, Mr. Al Davis. Welcome, DJ GQ, DJ Groove. Welcome to the show, you guys. Anybody want to ask Miss Robin? Al, you got a question for Miss Robin K. Miller?
I'm just so amazed that how you doing first? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm blessed.
Yes, you are. I can tell it.
Thank you.
I'm just so amazed, just listening to, part of your life story. And, from the beginning, God was with you from the beginning, and and all the way. And I'm just so amazed of your life story. You really have a life story to tell. You really do.
Yes, and you know what? It's crazy you say that because I do a lot of thinking. I do a lot of assessing and evaluating my life, and I realized that because we didn't get to talk about it yet, but I'm doing a TV series called the D.O.C.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that God has been grooming me since my 20s when I came to the prison system. That's the reason why I made it out in one piece, so I could tell the story and bring it to the attention of the world, because everybody has this misconception that the police are the worst out there, but it's not. The correction officers, especially in the state prison system, are far worse than the police in the streets. It's a lot of George Floyd going on in state prison throughout the USA and abroad, but mainly throughout these state prisons in the USA. And that's why the book was one thing. And and to be honest with you, I was going through a rough patch in 2014, and I had to go to God, and God guided me to the book. And I told God, I don't know nothing about writing no book, but I'm a filmmaker. My passion is writing films. And I said, I'll do the book, but when I do the book, I want to do the film. Mm-hmm. And I did the book, released the book, and a year later, I filmed my first pilot. It was called Rikers Island. And I had no money to do it. And God sent me the proper people. As a matter of fact, God sent me a billionaire who wound up putting up over $50,000 for me to get the pilot done.
That's amazing.
So it's my story is probably crazy, but I'm not on myself like that. Like, I just act normal. I act like it's not a big deal.
Around all those, murderers and burglars and, molesters and rapists and stuff, 22 years. The only time you was assaulted was by a correction officer. You never was assaulted by any of the inmates. You was assaulted by a correction officer.
And
correct?
They covered it up.
Right.
Yeah, his name was James Carter. And the bottom line is he wanted it. He wanted some. He wanted some of the cookie. That's what the bottom line was. And he couldn't get it. I remember because we used to have to take a bus. Like, I worked in the New York City Correctional Institution for Men on Rikers Island. It's now called the Eric M. Taylor Center. And we had to take a bus from the jail to the main building in order to get to our cars or public transportation. We used to call it the Rikers Island bus. And I remember getting on the bus with the rest of my colleagues, and when I went to get off, everybody was laughing. So by the time I got to almost like the bottom of the steps to get ready to leap out, I turned around, this same guy was sniffing my seat that I just got up out of. And I looked at him, I was like, "You disgusting."
Wow.
And I think and everybody was laughing at him, and I think ever since then he just really had it gunning for me, because he couldn't get nowhere with me. So, yeah, they covered it up. And I was worried about losing my job, and I ain't even do nothing.
Because then you learn how to push that pin on them, right? And
I was pushing the pin already, but when you got the whole building, including the warden, against you, like, they wanted to really crucify me, but they would have had to crucify him too. So I had to work 3 days for free. From him assaulting me, I had to work 3 days for free. Oh, I got more to tell. Wait till this TV series come out. I got some stories.
So basically, what you're saying, the male
DJ Groove, go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, what you're saying is that the male officer had it got away with anything they want, regardless of what it may be. They didn't get into trouble for what they did to you.
Of course not. Not only to me, to all the females. I've done so much research. It's females that got raped, assaulted by bosses, male bosses. Oh no, it's a man's world. Like in the prison system. Like as a matter of fact, when I came on the job in 1983, my class was the first class of female officers to go behind what you call a B gate. Because when you go into a housing area, it's usually an A officer. They sit in a little bubble in the booth doing all the paperwork. And then the B officer is behind the gate, the lock gate, with the inmates. And the male officers took the females to court. And then we had to go behind the B gate. But they didn't want females. They didn't feel females should be in a men's jail. They wanted us all in the women's house.
Wow.
And that's not where I wanted to be. I probably would have quit. We probably wouldn't even be having this conversation. I can't deal with a bunch of females. And then females, they size you up, they challenge you, and the females get away with a lot in the women's house that was on Rikers Island. So, yeah, but the men, they ran to jail.
Wow. Anybody else got other questions? Miss Peggy, you got a question?
Yes, sir, DJ Shaun. Thank you. It is a great honor to be in your presence, and congratulations on everything that you're doing and working on. And I just want to say that it is so great that you are here telling your story, and the movie and everything else that you're doing is truly amazing. So they had no repercussions on the men at all. That's terrible, I want to say, for one thing. Was there a lot of fights between, employees, the correctional officers, yourselves? Was there a lot of fights within the office that they kept hidden that they didn't want people to know as well?
Well, it was, men. The men, they fought probably in the locker room over the girls. Who you messing with my girl type thing. Yeah, probably. The females, but I've never seen it. But I'm quite sure that was going on. The females, I've never seen them fight, but I do know that they tried to fight me. They tried to set me up to make me fight. When I was still a rookie, two senior officers try to trip me down a flight of stairs, when I was going to the locker room. They tried to provoke me, and I didn't take the bait. I need a job, and I'm a thinker. I'm a Virgo. We think. We don't just react. The average person would have punched both of them out and lost their job, and then one of them wound up she went all the way to the top. She wound up being a warden, supervising warden, a deputy chief. Her name was Sandra Langston. She tried to push me down the stairs. They tried to trip me and push me down the stairs. Her and Officer Holder, two female officers. That I didn't even really know. They were senior officers. Looking up to them like, these are real, they've been there. But no, I didn't literally see people who, throwing down, you hear about it. But actually seeing them fight, nah.
Yeah. Wow. And do you think that any of the people working together, the correctional officers, do you think that they have fathered any children?
Of course. Children, with the officers?
Do you think that they were? Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Well, my baby daddy, to my grown child is an officer, retired captain now. My husband, I married. He was an officer. We didn't have any kids. It's a lot. See, when you in your work environment, it's easy to get into a relationship. When you spend most of your time at work, it's easy to get in a relationship at work. And when I came on the job, I was already in a relationship, but I broke up, with the guy eventually, and then I was single, so I was free to date. But at some point, I started hearing about a lot of female officers was coming on the job, and they was targeting the bosses, the captains, the deputy wardens, assistant deputy wardens, the chiefs. They was targeting them to have babies by them for child support. It became a business because when you after you have a child, you could take 3 years off. It's with no pay and no benefits, but you can come back to your job. So it's a lot of officers. They have babies by officers and bosses. Oh yeah, but that's like probably with like any other job where it's a lot of people like that. The office romance. You dating these people, you think you in love, and a lot of the guys, they just want the cookie and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. They go to the next one.
That's the truth. Yeah, that's the truth. And I have one other question. How old was the oldest prisoner that was there?
I think when I was there, I remember one in their 70s. But see, what people don't realize is Rikers Island is a county jail. They think Rikers Island is a prison and everybody's doing hard time. No, Rikers Island is a county jail where you've been accused of a crime and you're waiting to go to court. So a lot of them used to sit on Rikers Island because they didn't have money for bail. That's why they changed the bail system. And that's what became of Khalif Browder. Remember the Khalif Browder story? I don't know if you remember that.
Mm-hmm.
But he was the guy that sat up on Rikers Island, the kid, for 3 years, going back and forth to court because they wanted him to plead guilty to something that he didn't do, and he refused. So that's why they changed it in New York, and they really need to go back and reform it a little bit more because they letting the wrong people out, and they coming out and they committing crimes. But somebody going there for a petty crime, you can sit up in there at that point for like 3 years going back and forth to court, for a crime that you possibly didn't commit. Yeah, but like in their 70s, I think. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, DJ Shaun.
All right,
Thank
guys,
you.
This is the Hilltop Radio Show. We got the one and only Robin K. Miller is in the house with us here on the Hilltop Radio Show. We're going to go from one Robin to another Robin. Robin Lynn, anything you want to ask Robin K?
Yeah. Thank you for being on the show. It's really awesome to be speaking with you. And I am so sorry for what happened to you in your service. 17, when I went in the Air Force, and I was raped by another military person, from a person that was in a position of authority. It's a balance of power that they abuse because they want something from you that they can't get. Like, they can't come up and just try to court you or ask you out and get to know you. No, they have to exert their power over you and take it from you. Okay? And then when you, like you said, when you don't give in to that, they get very, very angry and they retaliate. That happens a lot. I kept my mouth shut for the whole 8 years that I was in the service. So I didn't report it until after 20 years after I got out. And it was a mistake because holding it inside really messed me up in the head. I mean, really.
Yeah, I guess so, yes.
And so I'm just really glad to be hearing you and your experience, how people have come to support you, how you have stood up for yourself, spoke up for yourself, and you're just a great example, and I commend you, and I really, really thank you, and listening to you is bringing me a lot of healing.
Good. Well, as far as the sexual abuse, sexual harassment, the rapes, that's going into the D.O.C. because there have been females that have been raped by officers, by bosses. So it's like it has to go into the TV series. And the TV series is 50 states. It's going to be over 500 plus seasons. So I'm going from state to state and covering all of this stuff that is hidden from the public. I'm getting ready to cover it, all of that in a dramatic thriller with a comedic edge. It's like it's the correction officer version of Oz meets The Wire. I'm getting ready to cover all of this because it's all been swept under the rug. And these prison systems have to be reformed. It's a lot of trumping going on up there. This KKK is all in these state facilities, brutalizing not just prisoners, officers too. And it's not just the black inmates anymore. It's all races. I have a lot of supporters whose family members, a lot of supporters that are white, whose family members are in there being brutalized, that come to me for help on how to stop the bleeding. But that's horrible with the service. Like, and a lot of women started coming forth, right, in the last 2 years.
We started coming forward in 2012, even before that.
Right.
We did a movie. I was in a movie called The Invisible War about military sexual trauma. And the thing about it is that people are coming forward, and more people are coming forward, men and women, but it's still happening at the same rate, if not more, than ever. Just like in the prison system. It ain't got one bit better. Not one bit.
Well, it probably stopped for a little while because 2012, President Obama was in there, right? Yep. So a lot of people fell back a little bit, right?
They fell back, but at the same time, there's no agency that has any authority over the military.
Right.
None. And so there's nothing or no one to hold them accountable for anything at all. And a lot of their case, and
it's no watchdog.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's none.
Just like in correction, it's no watchdog.
Yeah.
So they do it, and it's your word against theirs. Right.
And not only that, in the military, if the victim is married, they will prosecute her for adultery and kick her out of the Air Force. Yep. And give the perpetrator a pass. And if they're overseas and commit the crime, if the unit wraps up their deployment, their assignment over there, they come back to the States, they close all the cases, and nothing ever happens to them. So you have all these perpetrators that come back over here, and they get released into Gen Pop, okay? Oh, and these same fools, right, are getting released from the military, and they're going straight into the correction system, police and D.O.C. Okay, thank you.
But you know what? It's crazy that you. It's crazy that you bring that up. No, that you on this interview, because in my TV series, the lead that plays me is a former retired combat veteran, and it starts out with her fighting the military men. That's wow. So she's coming into the prison system as a correctional officer with that background.
Let me tell you what happens to us. They put us on command. You know how you have a guard dog or an attack dog, and you go sick 'em, and then when the dog does what they're supposed to do, you go down, boy, right? They put us on command in the military, and they train us to kill, to do all of this horrible stuff, right? And then they never take us off command. So we're released into Gen Pop, and we're activated with all of this energy that we've been trained to do and activated to do and set off to do. We didn't get there by ourselves. Yep.
That's where that PTSD comes in at.
Yes, there you go. Exactly.
And you know, correction is quasi-military. So when we're training, they're training us in the county jail, for the county jail, to go into the county jail, that the inmates are the enemy. They training us on karate, all kinds of stuff. Going there is kill, kill, kill. That's how they got you hyped up. That's how they had me. We going in there, the inmate, they're not your friends, they kill, they this, they that. And then I go into the prison system, and I see my homeboys. I'm like, what the hell is this? You want me to kill them? I went to public school with some of these people. This is in my head. I'm like, I fell right out of their little brainwashing techniques. They call them, but this is what kills me with them, too. Oh, they scumbags of the earth, and they trash, and they this and that. But then, when one of us get arrested, they got to change the rules. A little double standard come in. Like our union president just went to jail for, what he got, 5 years, Norman Seabrook? Now, he stole money. Like, he stole our money. Like, he literally stole our money and sold the newer people, because I was retired already. He sold us down the river where they wasn't going to get some of their money to somebody that was high risk in the stock market. They caught him with $60,000, I think it was, in a Gucci bag or one of them designer bags. But when he goes to jail, he was such a nice guy. So wait, what happened to kill, scumbag? What happened to that?
Yeah.
Like, you're so full of it. Oh, man, they just so full of it. Just double standard. They want to get leniency, and everybody got to have compassion for him. But what about all the other prisoners that was in there? This guy flat out guilty. Like, he got caught.
And what about the compassion? Because in these days and times, a lot of people commit crimes out of necessity. A lot of them are mentally ill. But they want to, when the police respond, they want to respond punitively. Okay?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people inside the prison system that need to be in a mental facility, except when they shut down most of the mental facilities, and so when society doesn't know what to do, then they dump them on the police. But the police are there to protect and serve. They're safety officers, and they're only authorized to do just a few certain things. That's why when you call the police and it's a certain situation, they tell you, well, you have to take that to court. because there's only things that they're allowed to do. Detain you, okay? Question you, arrest you. All right, there's only so many things the police are authorized to do. And then you have to understand that these guys are trained to be combative towards us. So when you call them, man, listen, when I call the police, I sit down, I put my hands up under my butt, I don't move. The officer sat down and next in front of me, he says, "Are you afraid of the police?" I go, "Yes, sir, I am." And he said, "Why?" I said, "Because my family members have called the police on me more than once when I was in a state of agitation. And when the police came, they took me to the psych ward, and the psych ward slammed me up in a jacket and slammed me up with drugs. And I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't commit any crime. I was just sick." Okay, so, yeah, I'm afraid of y'all. So, you know.
Oh, you done been through a lot of trauma.
All right.
I've been through a lot of trauma.
This is the Hilltop Radio Show, y'all. We're gonna go into another commercial. We'll be right back with Miss Robin K. Miller. As they say in the correction facilities, the troublemaker. The troublemaker.
Yay!
We're right back, y'all.
You're listening to the best DJ, keeping the party rocking on all social media platforms.
Post my drip up daily just so they can see. I see the link with the box, and they put the stick in the box. And I'm back to my ways, cause I'm heartless.
Stay tuned for more hip-hop and R&B.
Coronavirus, just get real.
The best mixes.
Playing the bangers. Don't forget to wash your hands.
All right, you guys, welcome back. It's the Hilltop Radio Show. And also, last night I made a mistake and told y'all the wrong numbers. Tonight is 1,250 episodes, published episodes right here on Hilltop Radio Show. So the accomplishment is tonight, not last night. So I want to apologize and throw that out to you guys. Robin K. Miller is in the house. She's been on Anderson Cooper. She's been on CNN. She's been on Channel 77, Savage Radio. You've done it all. I watched the tape with you on Anderson Cooper, and my man, that's I think he was from
that liar, right?
Oregon, yeah, the liar and everything. He was really
you
trying to
tell
make
he was lying, right?
Yeah, he was trying to make himself look good and make you look bad. Let's talk about how.
Well, you saw my expression, right?
It's like, I know you wanted to cuss him out, but you know he was on national TV. But you kept your cool, your composure and everything. Why do the correctional? Why do they go to that? Stoop that low just to lie about the truths that people know that's going on behind the walls in the prison system, Robin?
I think he just, for him, I think he just wanted his 15 minutes of fame. But with the prison system, they got the blue wall of silence, like with the police. Like they don't talk. They don't. That's why when the reason I got on Anderson Cooper is when they had, I don't know if you remember this, they had the escape at Clinton Correctional Facility, which Ben Stiller wound up doing a movie, Escape at Dannemora. So at the time when that incident happened, they was looking for female correction officers to speak about it. And it was nobody else out there talking. A year prior to that, or 2 years prior to that, I was in the New York Post, which is the big paper out here, one of the big papers besides the Daily News. I was in the New York Post, which was my hell as a Rikers guard. So that's how they found me, and that's why they invited me. And then plus I was on Nightline News, World News, and they saw that interview as well, and that's why they called me to come to CNN. I did Anderson Cooper and Poppy Hollow. And then I just did a lot of interviews back then. But I don't know. Correctional officers, they lie. I mean, I don't know. But the blue wall for me is black. When they abused me my whole entire career, I'm talking, I don't care. Like, I'm going to put the truth out there.
So I know me and you talked about this last week, and the question I asked you, and I'm going to ask it again, live on the air. Do you get harassed by, the police, or, ex-correctional officers because of the book and, the TV series and stuff that you're getting ready to put out? Do you, you get stopped or, phone calls, hanging up, things like that? Has that ever happened to you?
On the phone.
Nope, I wish. So I can go back on TV. I wish. No. Nobody, like I said, nobody don't care about correctional officers. Now, if it was the police department I was going after, which I wouldn't, I probably wouldn't even be here right now because they play dirty and they more powerful. And that's sad because we got the same rights as them. I can arrest people the whole nine. They prefer that we don't, but I have the same powers basically as the police. Where they required, I'm authorized. Like I can walk past the crime. They can't. But no, I've nothing like. But you know what? A lot of my old colleagues, they was upset at first when I did the book, when I did the movie. But when they realized that I'm not going after Rikers Island, they're done. They already exposed. I already exposed them. When they realized that I was going after state prison, because state prison is far worse than Rikers Island will ever be. Rikers Island like ballet school compared to state prison. So a lot of them now, they as far as them having a little attitude like I cared, they get it. It's state prison. Because then again, too, while I was on this journey, a couple of my colleagues contacted me. Their kids was upstate and got hurt by officers upstate. So, they know it's a difference between the county jail and when you go upstate, at least in New York City, going to New York State. Now, the other states, different ballgame. County jail, state prison, same thing. You're going to get abused in all of them, straight up. So, I'm not, no phone calls, no nothing. But I hear they want my head on a platter at Attica State Prison because of the book, and my book is banned.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that.
New York State Prison.
Yeah.
It's banned.
Yeah, I was going to say
it's not on the recommended reading list.
It's literally banned. Because see, they jumped, like I told you, my nephew's in state prison. And the officers jumped him as I was writing the book. That's what took my attention from Rikers to state. I didn't know how bad state was. I guess that was another door. That's the reason why God put me in that position. Because then I started doing a lot of research, and then when they jumped my nephew, I threw the playbook back at him. You see them letters that's in that book. And that's why I wrote that book and put them letters in there. So anybody that has a family member in a state facility or even a county jail, that is exactly how you write your document. You start doing a paper trail. Because I done wrote from the commissioner to the mayor, the governor, Barack Obama, the FBI, and I threw the playbook back at them. They was pissed. They kept their hands. They stopped messing with them, though. But I sent my nephew a book just 2 months ago. He told me to send him a book. I said, they're not going to let you keep it. You're not even going to get it. He said, send it anyway. Now, the last time I sent him a book was back in 2016. And they had to go through the book, and they gave him, out of 212 pages, they gave him 1 page.
Wow.
Just one. So this time, they didn't give him any.
Yeah.
Let's go a little.
I guess the rest they didn't want him to read. Period.
We're gonna jump on we're gonna talk about your sitcom and the movie. Let's go in a little deeper, Robin. Let's get into the the smuggling, the drugs and the prostitution rings and stuff that goes on. Talk to us about that.
Well, I mean, it's big business. When I came on the job, I remember working in a dorm. It was me. I was on the A post. Remember, I explained the A and the B post. Mm-hmm. And this guy, Correctional Officer Hugo Rivera, was on the B post, and it was the midnight tour, my first midnight. So I'm new. I'm brand new, and the thing is, you got to watch your partner. So and it's dark back there. So I'm looking. I'm keeping my eye on him while I'm sitting in the booth and just doing the paperwork or whatever. And there's nothing really to do. That's why I said we babysitters. You just sit there because all you got to do is take a count. Once the count is over, that's it. And then you just write in a logbook every half hour, 15 minutes, whatever. So I'm looking, and this guy is in the back. The officer, Rivera, knocked out, sleep with his head back. He's in a chair, mouth open, everything. Inmates standing around him. I'm scared for him. I got my flashlight. I'm flashing it in there. Like, this guy was really comfortable. And then the next day or whenever, he gets busted at roll call with 4 kilos of cocaine around his waist. Like, yo. That's why he was comfortable.
God.
That's why he was comfortable. It's a lot of stories that the public don't know because that was never in the papers. Nor is when I went to look him up to see if he was in the system, because even if you get discharged, you get sentenced and discharged, your name stays in the system. If you go to New York State inmate lookup, your name stays there. His name is nowhere in there. So what happened to the cocaine and what happened to him? Like, who kept it? They've been selling drugs in there, which I've never seen, but I know they've been selling drugs in there for years. And another reason why I know that they've been selling drugs in there for years is because of my sister. My sister came on a job, and she was targeted by a crack dealing correction officer. And what they do is they target the new recruits, just like the drug dealers target rap artists, R&B artists, anybody on the come up, basketball stars. They send the girls around them and they target them to get them strung out on drugs, so they can get, when they get their money, they can get a cut of that. And that's what they had a correction officer do. So I know that they was dealing drugs in there, but as far as me ever seeing it, no. But yeah, drugs, they smuggle. One of the officers, he did 4 years. Gary Hayward, he wrote a book too. He smuggled drugs. I know he smuggled weapons. He just didn't cop out to it. But he was saying, I think it was crack, weed, all kinds of alcohol, Hennessy. Yeah, bringing Hennessy in there. He was, they was paying for red velvet cakes. Like, and I don't get it because we make money. Like, it's a decent paying job.
Greed.
Just to be a
There's
babysitter.
No accounting for greed. Yep.
Well, he got caught. He did 4 years. Then he wrote a book. Like, to me, he's the worst of the worst. Because I know he brought in weapons as well, razors and stuff. Some officer could have got killed. And that's what's going on in Rikers now. Rikers is a zoo now. Now it's horrible. I would not take that job now. The inmates is rebelling now. They calling shots, and they hiring gang members coming in there, the Bloods and the Crips. They hiring gang members.
Wow, that's crazy. Because Rikers Island used to serve as a dump. It was a dump at one time before it became a county jail, right?
Yeah, that's why it's methane gas. That's why people are catching cancer.
Excuse me.
This guy's wife got sick with cancer. He took the soil. He had the soil tested, and it was cancerous. His wife died from cancer. They knew it. One of my friends, she's a reporter. She did an article on it. It was a dump, and it got dead bodies under Rikers Island. There's a lot of unsettled souls. That's why it's always popping off. It's a lot of unsettled souls, and there's a lot of bodies buried under Rikers Island, as well as the state prisons. I'm quite sure you go to any state prison throughout the USA, they got a place where they murder inmates and bury them. Have the other inmates bury them.
Wow.
Because what happens is when people go to jail, prison, their family members disappear on them. They write them off. And they know if they're not getting any phone calls, any money in their commissary, any visits, and they target them.
Wow. Because I know we were talking and said, back in 2019, the city council voted for an over $8 billion plan to close Rikers Island prison by, and other New York City jails by 2026. Is that still something that you've heard today, Robin? That they still plan on doing that?
They said they're closing it by, I heard 2023. I don't know. De Blasio, the mayor, said 2023. I have no idea. What I do know is before they was looking for, because some of my early interviews, I was like, wait, so where you going to put the inmates? Like, I was really upset. Like, where you going to put the inmates and what happens to the officers? Like, but once I found out it was, and what I heard they was going to do was they was trying to build their own community, because you got to go over a bridge to get to Rikers. So people wanted to build these little high-rise type situations, these billionaires, so these white folks can have their own community, or the rich. So a lot of people was, getting their money in it, really rich, not necessarily, white, but just rich. It was getting their little coins together to be a part of it. But my thing is, after doing my own research, and then like I said, one of my friends, she did the thing on the methane gas. Go ahead on over there then. Because you're going to have to deal with them unsettled souls. You'll be in your kitchen or your bathroom, and the spirit will be all up in there with you. And then you got to deal with that methane gas. Everybody will be getting cancer in your household, too. So go ahead and build your little island. They need to tear it up. They need to just tear the whole thing down. It was built on a premise on a mindset of a plantation owner.
Wow.
And this was when something about, I think that's with, what's the thing, 13, Anna did the film. Anna, the filmmaker, something 13. It was one of the amendments where we was free, but then they did something with the prison system. I can't think of the full story. Instead of freeing us, they put us in the prison. They put us in Rikers Island. So we were never free. It was a clause in something. What was the film she did? Something 13. It's like one of her first films. That's what got her a lot of recognition. Anna DuVernay, something like that.
Ava DuVernay.
Ava. I said Anna. Oh my God. Ava, yeah. Anna. Ava.
All right.
So you know what I say though. Let them build their utopia over a methane thing. Let them all get cancer and let them all die. Let them enjoy themselves. Okay.
Exactly.
That's what they get.
They need to close it.
Just saying.
They need to. That's why it's going to get worse and worse and worse. I'm telling you, unsettled souls.
Yeah.
And on Rikers Island, a lot of these state prisons. I remember I did some research. This father's son was in a New York State prison for a minor crime. I think he might have had 2 or 3 years, something like that. And he had spoken to his son like 2 months, and he wanted to send him a food package. So he went on a New York State inmate lookup site that I said, and to get his son's numbers and the address or whatever. Mm-hmm. And when he looked his son up to get the numbers, his VIN numbers, next to his son's name said dead. His son was dead, and nobody ever contacted him. He was dead and buried. They never contacted him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Somebody killed him. Yep.
That's
crazy.
A DuVernay's movie is called 13th, and it's on Netflix right now. 13th. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know it's something with 13th. Yeah, but it's something about our rights, something like that.
Mr. No Weapon, welcome to the show. Anything you want to ask Robin?
No, I don't have anything.
Hold on, Robin. Hold on a minute, Robin.
I thought you asked
Mr.
me.
No Weapon. No, I was talking to No Weapon.
No, I'm just enjoying the show. I'm just enjoying the show and listening to you and heard everybody else. And so whenever I have something to chime in, you know I will. But I appreciate the show.
All right. Go back with Al. Any other questions, Al?
I just want to say that I am so glad that God has chose you and put you in place to really get this out there to the public, because people really need to know this, especially when all of this ATLL is going on, and it's terrible. It is terrible, and I'm so glad that God put you in place, because He chose you, and you are the one to really get this message out there, and you are doing a great job at it. You are really doing a great job at it. You are welcome.
Yeah, sometimes I say to God, why? Let me just enjoy my retirement. Some days I wake up and I don't want to do it, because I work so hard behind the scenes to try to make this happen, and God opens up another door.
Yes.
When I decide, nothing's going to happen, God opens up another door. So I can't even get away from it, even if I want. And that's when I started realizing about your calling. This is my calling. It's not about me trying to be famous. It's not about Hollywood. I don't care about all that. I'm way past that age for all the hype, 15 minutes of fame and all that. What I do know is that what's going on behind them prison systems is wrong. It's just wrong. And I didn't see that to that extent while I was in city correction. I had no idea how bad state is. That's why when that George Floyd thing happened, that look in that cop's eyes, I've seen so many times. In my colleagues' eyes, and I didn't make the connection because I never seen them in the actual. I only seen one beat down when I was a rookie, and they beat this 17-year-old kid. I was taking a group of them to the 5 o'clock in the morning mess hall, and I always gave them the riot act before we left. We get in that hallway, don't say nothing, keep your shirt in your pants, hands out your pants, and look straight ahead. Don't give them a reason to do anything to you. And they listened, and our union representatives was on the side of the wall, snatched the guy out of my line. It must have been like maybe 30, 40 inmates I was escorting to the mess hall, snatched him out the line and just started beating him down. To carry these long flashlights. And I'm watching them, just long black metal flashlights, and I'm watching them just beat him in the top of his head. I still see it to this day. And that incident happened in 1983. And I wanted to say something, and something told me, you can't. and I never said nothing. The inmate's name was Deadeye, and the guy that did it, he wound up becoming commissioner. During my career, he wound up becoming commissioner. I knew had I said something, I probably wouldn't even be there. I probably would have been fired. They would have set me up and everything. But I watched them beat this guy right in his head. And after that, they really got rid of the riot act before we left the housing area. They really got rid of the riot act. And after that, you know, like you can't really say nothing, because then the officers are on you. And you'll be sitting there alone. So it's like you want to speak up, but you can't. But I'm going to tell you what I did do is I wrote a lot of anonymous letters with a fake name. And I was so outspoken with certain things, nobody ever knew it was me.
Wow.
I catch them doing stuff. I'll be somebody's grandma writing a letter. My name, I'll get a fake address. I'll mail it from the next borough. Make sure my fingerprints ain't on it.
Damn.
I had my way of telling stuff. Especially towards the end of my career. I was done. I was done with some of the racism that I've seen. I was done with some of the stuff that I've seen, period. And I would just write letters, right? And I knew when they dropped. Because then I watched all the bosses to the office. I sit and I ain't never tell nobody. I just sit back and laugh. Now everybody trying to be on it, trying to put their best foot forward now. It was a lot of stuff, yeah.
Wow.
All that's going in the TV series, too.
So, anybody else got another question for Robin before we get ready to jump in? We're going to get ready to jump into talk about the TV series. Anybody? All right.
DJ Shaun, I would just like to say very quickly, sir, ma'am, if you get a chance to please check into the Ohio Correctional Centers. There is a lot that goes on. There is a lot that I have heard, that I have seen, that can be proven, that has been going on for many years. There have been deaths of young girls inside the jail that was arrested for no light on her bicycle. There was just a lot, and so she ended up passing away, and the story was they made her crawl out of the jail cell. The person that told me, I believe, there are so many people that need heart medication that do not get their medications when they need that. There is a lot. There's just a lot of complete horror stories that I've heard. So I just wanted to say that just because you are a person, someone that can do something, that has a voice and a stand, and I just thank you. Thank you, DJ Shaun. I just wanted to say that, sir. Thank you so much.
Let's do this, Robin. Go ahead, Robin.
That's why. Let me just say this. That's why, like, I wrote the book, right? And like I said, my thing is film. My thing is visual writings, films. But I know people don't read. So I knew that after I did the book, and like I said, the agreement I had with my maker that I have to do film. But I'm going from state to state. There's 50 states. And when I was doing the research, I couldn't believe, like, all of this stuff going on in the East. I literally went through the alphabet from A to Z. Every correctional facility from A to Z, state to state. And I found out all the same stuff you're talking about. So with the D.O.C., which is abbreviation for the Department of Correction, I'm literally going from state to state to expose. Each one of them, you'd be surprised, it's different stuff too. And it's true stuff, just like you said, that can be verified. So it's not that it's not true. Yeah, I'm going to dramatize it and take it to another level, with my creativity. But the goal is to make people start paying attention. I'm going to do that. I'm going to hit people to the point, I'm going to touch you inside and make you want to protest. Like, I got organizations that's going to stem from this. Like, it's a movement. The D.O.C. is going to wind up being a movement by the time I finish. So Ohio's on the list, all of them. It just happens that New York is the first one because I'm in New York. But if you see the flyer, you can see that I'm hitting some of the other ones. But it's 50 states. That's why I said over 500 seasons. It's going to have the longevity of Law and Order. You see, Law and Order just keeps going and going and going and going. That's how the D.O.C. is going to be. I'll be long gone and they'll still be filming.
Yeah, right.
They'll still be filming. My grandkids, great-grandkids, their kids will be still getting a residual check. They will still be eating. No, it has to be exposed. It's wrong. And people don't know. It's not that they don't care. People don't know. Nope. Like, as much as you tell people until they feel it, see, it's not just about writing a TV series. It's about writing an effective series where I pluck your nerves. I pull every emotion out of you. You can't expect people to have any compassion, and they don't know. Just like white people have been hearing us for years about police brutality, about how they just targeting us, how they beating us. But it wasn't until they seen George Floyd, and it wasn't until every woman heard him say, Mama, that people really understood, okay, now we see what you're talking about. So, trust me, I got it. I'll put it this way, God got it.
That's right. And if anybody hasn't seen The Oz or The Wire, that's basically those two sitcoms combined together is what you're putting in your sitcoms as well, right, Robin?
Yes, the TV series. Yeah, it's the shock value of Oz.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched Oz. I just binge watched Oz a couple of weeks ago. And
I love Oz.
It's the underground of the Wire. Yes.
Love The Wire too.
That's what the D.O.C. is. Yes. They're going undercover.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I'm doing it, the way I wrote it, because the first season is already written. The way I wrote it, it's going to blow people's minds. But it's going to be effective. And it's going to give people ideas that are actually working in the prison system that is tired of it as well, but they need their paycheck. Because a correction officer, nobody really likes their job.
Nope.
But you got to eat. You got to eat.
Got to. Robin, before we go any further, where can people follow you at on social media? Where's the best? Like, if someone has a question and they want to talk to you privately about a loved one behind the prison system, on how they can help that loved one, how can they get a hold of you?
Well, I'm on all of them, Twitter, Instagram, all of them. But the main one that I'm on is Facebook. If they go to Robin K. Miller on Facebook, that's the one I stay on the most. It's Facebook, and they can hit me in the inbox. They still, people still hit me in the inbox. They have problems, whatever, and I help them out. But Facebook is really the best one. I mean, they can find me on Instagram, Miss Robin K. Miller. And then if they send me a message there, I could respond to that. But Facebook is the one that I'm actually on the most. Like, I don't have a lot of time, but I have a lot of supporters, and I do, my inspirational blogs and stuff. I always try to uplift people because we living in some trying times, so I always try to uplift and encourage, and I want people to be happy in spite of, whatever they're going through, but Facebook is the main one.
All right. Anybody else got any questions? Well, Robin, I did tell you I was going to get you connected with another radio station. That is Robin Lynn Mabin. She has a radio station out of Seattle, Washington, and I'm quite sure she'll reach out to you and get her and get you on her show. And Miss Benita Applebaum, she's got a radio show that's going to be jumping off. She's on radio with us as well, out of Mississippi. I'll try to get you on her show as well, for an interview on her show as well too. Yeah. Okay. Because, you know, like Mr. Al Davis said this, and we talked. Well, me and you talked a lot. You know, this is something that needs to be heard, and you know, I sent you a couple articles about, you know, the prison system in Florida, how it's, you know, the guards are all white supremacists, how they are. Yes. You know, yeah. Oh yeah.
That's everywhere. That's why if you look at, did you saw the trailer for Rock Island, right?
Yes, ma'am. Mhm.
See, a lot of people when I was filming Rock Island, they asked me, you know, my people, you know, our people, they kill me. Why ain't no black people in it? Because it's about officers, and most of the officers that's doing the damage upstate is white. Most of the officers in the mountains is white. This is not about inmates. The inmates is the background. We've seen enough of them films. This is about the correction officers behind the prison walls, their lives behind and outside the prison walls. And it's not one TV series that focuses on what correction officers do behind the prison walls and outside the prison walls. That is crazy to me. That's why my lane is wide open. That's why I'm slaying right in my own lane, because there's not one show. Have y'all seen any shows about that focuses solely on correctionals? I'm not talking about movies that show the correctionals. Nope. I'm talking about a TV series that comes on every week like Oz did. No, right?
Not that I can remember.
No.
And definitely not written by. See, that's a key, too. You have to be a correction officer that lived it, that knows how to write, that's an anointed writer that can write it. Because I'm quite sure all this time I've been running around saying this, let me do one. And all these meetings I've had with these networks, affiliates, and all these people, you know, they say, you shouldn't take your idea. Write it then. You can't write it the way I'm writing it. I lived it.
You also had some people recently trying to get you to send them your script and everything so they can take your idea, right?
Yeah, so the network was interested. They saw my pitch Bible, which they wasn't supposed to see. Oh, the network, they loved it. I'm sending your script over. I was like, what?
Who the fuck does that? Who the fuck does that?
That's like you sending the recipe to Popeye's chicken. I'm just supposed to just give it to you. So what the hell you need me for? And then the guy that said it, he tried to argue me down. They can't sell it. You know, just give them an NDA. What that mean? What does NDA mean? They got the whole blueprint. They can just rearrange it and write it. They know where I'm going with it. Nobody don't know where I'm going with it. Because, see, this is not a documentary. This is an actual film. And it has such a comedic twist to it. Because some of this stuff that I'm writing, some of these stories that I'm telling, you can't make it up. Like, you just can't make this up. One of the episodes, which is true, about the officer that got his penis bit off. That's in the book as well.
That was by a man,
inmate,
right?
By the male inmate. As we used to call him, she. He had him in a closet. He was a sanitation officer. Had him in his closet, the sanitation slop sink closet. I guess he was supposed to get an inmate some money or food or whatever for his services. And he didn't pay up, and the inmate bit his penis off.
Oh,
and the officer,
strong jaws.
Yes. and the officer, I think the officer got fired, but the officer committed suicide. The officer was married with kids and had a girlfriend.
And a
And the girlfriend, it sounds it's a small world. The girlfriend used to go out with my ex-husband before I started going out with him. So I knew the story was true.
Oh, Lord.
As a matter of fact, she was cheating on my husband, which was, he wasn't my husband at the time. She was cheating on him with this guy who was married with kids.
Wow.
I guess that
I got some stories. Because there's a lot of stuff that the public never heard, never knew about, wasn't in the papers, nothing.
I guess that correction officer will always have a lip.
Yeah, everybody, all the men, when I say bit his penis off, all the men have their penis, right? Ooh. And the way I wrote it, it's funny. Believe it or not. It's funny.
Always have
but
a lip.
But it ain't. But it's funny.
What you got to say about that, Mr. No Weapon?
I have no comment. Not right now. I'm good.
But people need to know stuff like this. That's why I said that blue wall is black. I'm telling it all. I'm telling it all.
Yeah, she put names out there, boy, like I do on the radio. She throwing names out there like I do. Fuck it. Let people know.
I mean, I can't do that in the film. The names are changed to protect the innocent and the guilty.
Not here on this radio. Shoot,
I thought that's right.
What are
they going to do?
Not a damn thing, but snitch.
Exactly.
Get mad. DJ Shaun talk about me again on the radio. Well, that's what the hell you get for ear hustling. Keep on ear hustling. Yeah. Get your feelings hurt.
Well, I'm going to keep this definitely flowing.
Oh, yeah, Robin, like I told you, anything that we can do here on the radio for you, push anything that in the materials, any shows, when everything gets good for you. We love to have you come back, and talk about, the cast, bring some of the cast members on, and talk about,
right now I'm trying to get, right now I'm in the stage, I'm past development, going into pre-production.
Okay.
I have two budgets that I have on the table. One is for $4.5 million. One is for $6.5 million. The $6.5 million, I'm trying to get Sanaa Lathan to play me, and I'm trying to get Benicio del Toro in it to play one of the main characters.
Wow.
And then I have Royce Johnson.
Benicio played in Power, didn't he? I think I interviewed him before.
Benicio del Toro, the guy that played in Escape at Dannemora?
Yeah, and I think, didn't he also play in Power?
I don't know. I haven't watched Power.
Second season? Okay.
I never watched Power, so I don't know. But he looks, what is he, Mexican, right?
Mm-hmm. Puerto Rican.
Yes.
He's Mexican, right? Puerto Rican, yeah. Mexico. He's that flavor. Oh, he's a phenomenal actor. He would be great. His price is high, though. His price, just for that pilot, is over $1 million. So that's the why it's in that one. Then I have Royce Johnson. That's the one that was in Daredevil and For Life. And
yeah,
in fact, he's executive producer of the D.O.C. And then the other budget is $4.5 million. I already have $2.5 million of that. So I'm looking to avoid going straight to the networks, because I had a lot of meetings with networks affiliates for a lot of these networks. To avoid going straight to them and losing a certain amount of power, I would prefer to film it myself and then go to the networks and work a deal like that. But It's whatever God says at this point. So my thing is, I already have $2 million on the table. I need another 2.5 more, either 1 or 2 more investors, and then I'll be filming. Next year I'm going to film anyway. So
all right, Mr. No Weapon, she needs you out there on the stage with your Michael Jackson jackets on, man, doing some Thriller. Need $2.5 million.
And my thing is like I tell any of them I have these meetings with, it's not up to them, it's up to God. Whoever God wants to go on this journey, because I already know this is going to blow everything out the water. I also know I need a machine behind me because this is big. This is going to be big, and this is going to be out there for a long time like Law and Order. So it's a matter of not if it's going to happen, it's a matter of when and with who.
Right.
That's the whole thing. So my thing is, I just want to make sure the right people are coming along with me, because I done met a lot of sharks, a lot of liars, a lot of con artists, and scammers during this journey when I started with the film. I've been doing film since 1994. I call all of that time my training. Now I'm ready for prime time. That's why I did my own package. I had my own, I did the pilot script. I got evaluations from professional people. I did the pitch deck, which they call a pitch deck, pitch Bible, and I did the budget sheet. See, I ain't have money to hire people to do all of that. See, a lot of times people don't work on stuff because they don't have money. No, when you don't have money, to me it's better because you learn it. And I learned this stuff and I perfected it. That's why I'm able to attract the people that I need, hopefully, to go to the next level. But I'm already halfway there because I have $2 million on the table.
Mm-hmm.
So once I bring in some more investors, it's a go. They care about the money. They're going to eat because this thing is definitely going to be a win-win because there's not one out there. Like I say, you have Oz, male inmates. You have Orange is the New Black, female inmates. And now you have the D.O.C, correction officers.
There you go.
Oz and Orange is the New Black was very successful.
Sure was.
And Orange is the New Black was just too watered down for me. It wasn't realistic enough for me. But it worked. It was entertaining. I watched it. Eventually I watched it. It was entertaining, but I would have probably did a better job with that. I can also tell that a correction officer or inmate a correction officer didn't consult on that film.
No.
The inmates was just too soft porn for me. I would have went harder. Did you watch Orange is the New Black?
I started it, but I couldn't get into it. It was too weak for me. Yeah. It was too weak for me.
Exactly. It was too soft porn, right?
Yeah, and boring.
Yeah.
Really boring.
And also the other one, the one that was something was wrong with her in the head, the black one, right?
Yeah, she was the best thing of it.
I think, yes, she was, but I think that they could have done a really better job of representing the struggle for mental illness.
There was no build up to it. She came right out the gate.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like they didn't build her up. She came out just crazy. I would have did a better job with it too. But out of the entire thing, she was the one that shined the most.
Yeah.
I guess that's why she got the award. But the writing, it was just weak. To me, it was too weak, and to me, it wasn't as authentic as what really goes on in the female prison.
Mm-hmm.
Even the setting.
And I always have a problem when they make comedy out of mental health. I just can't laugh about that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I have that in the D.O.C. where I bring up, like one of the inmates is mentally challenged, and I handle it totally different. I don't handle it as a joke, but the particular inmate handles them as a joke. I flip the script.
Wow.
Oh, I flipped the script on that. So
when
I
you.
anticipate filming the D.O.C. early 2022.
Oh yeah, that's what I was getting ready to ask you. When you're going to be start?
I got to get the money first. I gotta either get the money, or I got to see where God is shifting it. Either get the money or go straight to the networks, because I've been having a lot of they're coming at me now. They're really coming at me now to come on board, and I'm not just going to just settle with anybody. It's a couple of people that I've been talking to since April that I really want to work with them. One female in particular, Melissa English, I really want to work with her. She's been really trying to pull this through for me.
Right.
And she's a female, and they don't like to let us shine in this game. Like, this is a man's world we live in. We got to fight extra hard to find our place in it. But one thing that I do know is that this is the time for social injustice films. This is the time for minority filmmakers, especially black females. They're opening the door a lot more for us now. So I know that my time is now with this particular TV series. So I'm just, it's just right now I'm just going to continue to work. I got other stuff that I'm working on as far as the scripts, the Tales from the Pens. That's going to be my next series after this takes off. And that's about it.
Right. Well, again, Robin, where can people follow you at again on the social media, sweetheart?
They can find me on Twitter, Robin K. Miller, but I'm hardly on that. They can find me on Instagram, Miss Robin K. Miller, but I'm primarily on Facebook, Robin, middle initial K, Miller. Or if they can't find me on Facebook, what they can do, which is best for them to do, is Google Robin K. Miller, and everything pops up. And everything, like all my footage and interviews and stuff is on my YouTube channel. Did you listen to the interview with me and the judge and Michael Eric Dyson?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that was one of my best interviews too.
Yeah.
On YouTube, I got all my interviews, all the stuff that I've done, most of it that I've done thus far. This interview will go on there next.
They can go to your website as well too, right? You have a website as well, right?
Yeah, I got to update it though. RobinKMiller.com. Yeah, I got to update it. I definitely got to update it. I haven't had time, but yeah, a lot of stuff is up there. If they check out Rock Island, the trailer and the sizzle, they can get an idea where I'm going. What I anticipated when I shot it in the end of 2017, the beginning of 2018, that was supposed to be the thing to put me out there. Like the D.O.C. would have never happened had Rock Island happened, but after I went into editing and looked at over 100 hours worth of film, the acting was not up to par. The actors, they said all the lines right, and they memorized them, but they weren't real actors because they didn't wear the character.
Yeah, wear the
character. So after spending over $50,000, I was only really with 1 minute worth of footage out of 100 hours. And I had to throw in stock footage in order not to be totally embarrassed. But Rock Island, if you look at Rock Island, you'll get an idea of how hard I'm getting ready to go. Oh, I'm going hard.
Oh, yeah,
I see that you are. If I get with any network and they try to get me to water it down, I'm not doing it. It has to be my way or I'm not doing it. Then why do it?
Exactly.
So that's why I want to go to HBO. I want to go to HBO or Showtime. Like HBO need another series like that. They had Oz and The Sopranos. They don't really have anything like Starz is killing them right now.
Yeah, 50
like 50
Cent
got
is
all
really
them
doing
shows
his
on
thing.
Stars, and they just dominating the game right now.
And he got another one getting ready to come out with the white guy from Power. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be tight. Yes. Oh yeah.
So HBO, they be smart if they come in on it now and give me the money I want. Or Showtime or Cinemax, they need a boost. Like, because I'm watching HBO Max now, and I'm like, what the hell has happened? Like, what happened?
And HBO was the first before the rest of them came along.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm watching The Wire on HBO Max. Like, what happened? Was The Wire originally on HBO?
The Wire was on. Was it HBO? I think it was. Yeah, it was HBO.
Yeah, it was on.
Yeah.
They were all on HBO, and then they created HBO Max to put a lot of their archive stuff on and made it premium so that they could make money. And we need to be doing the same thing over at I Am Streaming. Just saying.
Yep. Well, HBO needs me right now, so. But that's when I started writing it. That's where I said I wanted to go with, because they was willing to go out the box. But there's a lot of them is willing to go out the box now. But I just want to go to HBO. I don't know why. Yeah, it is HBO Max.
Yeah, The Wire did 5 seasons. Yeah.
Yeah, I just watched them.
Yeah.
60 episodes.
I was sad it ended.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
I was sad it ended. It was good. I just finished it last week.
Yeah.
I'm glad I watched it after I finished writing. I mean, watched it after I finished writing. But I always knew that because I only saw probably one episode of each back then. See, when it came out years ago, I couldn't watch law enforcement, any films with law enforcement. Being a correction officer, I didn't want to see anything about law in my spare time. And that's why I'm surprised I'm even writing one.
Damn. I didn't even know. Oz did 6 seasons too. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I was sorry that ended too.
And a lot of the guys that played in Oz are playing in Law and Order. A lot of those guys
and The Wire.
Law and Order. Yeah, and The Wire
A lot of them went over to The Wire too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We talked a long time.
Hey, when we get you on the radio, we keeping you. Hey, anybody else? Anybody else got any? Hey, Mr. No Web, you got any questions now?
Surprisingly to you and everybody else, I don't.
Wow, not even the guards having sex with the female officers behind the prison system. Not you? No.
Don't get me started.
Wow.
I'm not saying nothing. You trying to get me started, DJ Shaun.
Don't get you started. Usually we gotta make you
Can't believe he ain't said nothing like that tonight, Al. This is bad.
He's trying to get me started.
I'm gonna send somebody over there to check your damn temperature. Shit. Any other time you wide open about women and all that, you ain't got nothing to say tonight. What? Damn.
I ain't got nothing to say. Surprisingly, I have nothing to say.
Well, you must have a long
I guess
day
I said it all.
I'm surprised. Damn. All right. Woo-wee. But, Robin, I appreciate you again, sweetheart, for accepting the invitation to come on here tonight and be with us and tell us your story. Like Mr. Al said, you are the key piece for everybody to know what's going on, what needs to go on. I know a lot of people are like, God, let me wait for Leroy to call me so I can ask him what the hell's going on or where you at.
They need to. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
They need to look. Just put the phone on. You can't get up here to see them. The phone is cheaper now. I know it is in New York. It's like $1 a call now for half an hour. So it's like, at least keep that line of communication open. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them guys is in it. They put them in solitary confinement. They're mentally challenged now, everybody that comes out of prison needs to go straight into counseling and needs to be checked out. So it's like when they feel they got nobody and it's hopelessness, that's not cool.
We talked, cool. Robin. We talked Monday morning about this inmate in Louisiana. He shot. He was 17 years old. He got startled and he shot the sheriff in Baton Rouge back in 1963. And they just the state of Louisiana, after he did 58 years, he's 75 years old. They granted him parole. How do you think his state of mind is going to be getting back out into society?
He's going to be like that guy in Shawshank Redemption.
Mm-hmm.
Not Morgan Freeman, the other guy that came home and
the white guy.
If he ain't got, if his family is gone, that's you said. How do you adjust?
Exactly.
Prison is all he knows.
Mm-hmm.
They're like family behind them prison walls. Believe it or not. A lot of them do stick together and look out for each other, but then again, too, 75 is not like 75 back in the days. 75 back in the days used to look like you was on your last leg. 75 now, I don't know. He can't. The prison system is all he knows. That's his family. That's his life. He probably don't want to go home. Did he have family?
It didn't say. He
probably don't even want to go home.
Didn't say.
Right. That's the only thing. The last thing.
Crazy.
The only thing I remember is before he went in, that's still gonna be in his mind, and everything.
Yeah, look, it was on computers, nothing.
Right.
Yep. 1963 is when he went in. You know, he was, and then they didn't really say why he shot. Well, you gotta understand there. The conversation that we had was, I wasn't defending him. I was like, well, you gotta understand back, them days in the South, they were lynching young black men, so he was protecting himself. And you had a white guy come up from behind you. He startled him, and so he shot him.
That's probably what it was. I'm from Louisiana, so I'm 48 years old, and so my mama and grandmama used to tell me. So I guarantee you, it was self-defense. He just went to prison because he killed a white person. That's what
exactly.
He probably was defending himself.
Mm-hmm.
You from Louisiana, so you live there now.
Absolutely.
So you know Royce Johnson.
That name doesn't ring a bell, but
he just got the key to the city.
What happened to him?
He just got the key to the city.
He's an actor. He's an actor.
Yeah, he's my best friend, but he's executive producer for the D.O.C. and he's an actor. He just got the key to the city.
What part of Louisiana though? See, that matters.
New Orleans, wasn't it?
New Orleans. I don't know nothing about New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans.
The mayor, the female mayor. Yeah. What's her name?
Yeah, I know you're talking about. That's south of me. Like I'm at the north.
Okay.
I'm at the north. I'm like 5 hours away from New Orleans.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So that's probably why
I haven't been out. Last time I was out there, my mother took me. I was about 6-7 years old.
Yeah. New Orleans.
So you said Louisiana. I know that's still New Orleans, right?
Yeah, but it's like. It's
all New Orleans, but it's a part in.
Yeah, it's part of Louisiana. It's like at the bottom. It's at the bottom of Louisiana. I'm at the top. I'm at the north. That's
he
south.
just got the key to the city. He just met with the city council, and he's officially got his own day out there now.
Okay. I'm gonna look him up.
Robin,
Royce
you
Johnson.
got another question?
His family's from out there, so you might probably know some of his family because they on that side. I remember him mentioning. What you talking? Yes, what is it? Baton Rouge, right? Am I saying it right?
Yeah, that's south. That's south also. That's an hour away from.
Yeah, he got family. He grew up out there.
Okay.
He got family all over. All his family's out there. Yeah, look him up. He just got the key to the city. He's one of my lead actors, but he's executive producer, one of the executive producers for the D.O.C.
Okay.
He's taking his journey with me, too. He's a good guy.
Robin?
Yeah. What about the inmates that their sentences, they're not supposed to get out of jail. They're meant to die in prison. But they get cancer or some other sort of sickness, right? Instead of them sending them to the infirmary, they'll give them compassionate releases. And that kind of boggles my mind. Does that happen a lot everywhere?
What, did they let them go home?
That they let them, like they have a sentence, like life without parole or something like that. Then they get elderly and they get cancer, and or something like that. And so they give them compassionate releases.
Well, I don't know anybody like that, but I know they don't care. You can have cancer or whatever. They could care less. You doing your time. If you're going to die in here, you just die in. They don't care. That's why with COVID, they don't care. They didn't give them masks and stuff like that. They didn't even care about the officers either. Officers, a lot, they don't get no respect either. Even the KKK ones, they don't care about them either. So they go in and they do their own thing. They don't care.
Well,
you die in prison, they don't care.
Because they make it money
As
off.
a matter of fact, they hope they don't give you any medical. If they give you any medical attention, they got a problem with that because their health insurance is so high. Their premiums. Oh, they giving them free health care. The same energy they have about immigrants getting health care, they got the same thing about inmates getting health care in there. You get sick in there, they could care less. One of my friends just came home. Something happened to his back while he was in prison. They didn't even look out for him. He came home in a wheelchair.
Wow.
And he just had surgery on his back while he's home. And he said they gave him a rusty wheelchair at that.
Wow. That's crazy.
They don't care.
That's
If
crazy.
they give them a compassionate release, at least they get out. Hopefully they get out and bounce back. Be like, psych, I ain't really sick. I beat cancer. It's a miracle.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. All right.
That's good.
Robin, again, time is getting on almost 8 more minutes left in the show, so 6 minutes. Again, we want to thank you again for being part of the show. You know, I'm going to be reaching out to you on the daily just to check in with you.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, too.
Oh, no problem. We'll get you set up with Robin Lynn. I'll make sure she gets your information as well, and you guys can call her so when she want to get you on her show and things like that, too.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Got to get the word out.
Any encouragement words you want to leave with? Any encouragement words you want to leave with loved ones that have, you know, people in prison or county jail or city jails? Any encouragement words you want to leave them with?
Reach out to them. Make sure that if you can't visit, make sure that you put the phone on. Make sure that, and another thing, they starving them. Everybody think it's 3 hots in the cot, they got it made in there. No, they starving them in there. And I know in the New York prison, they feeding them soy. A lot of these prisons, they took meat off the menu. They want them to lose all their muscle mass so they can beat them up, so they can't be cock diesel and fight back. Just reach out to them, write them, send them a card, let them know that they got family members out there, and be consistent with it. Like, put yourself in a place. What if something happened and God forbid, you had to go to prison? Would you want people just leaving you for dead? No. I don't understand that. I just don't. I don't get that. Reach out to your family members behind those prison walls, whether they're innocent or guilty. They still your family. I just can't get over that.
All right.
Encouraging enough?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sure is.
Watch, when that D.O.C. come out, people going to be running to the prisons. Watch.
Hell yeah.
They're going to be running. You know how many lawsuits they could have? You want to make some money? They can make money. From the behavior of what's going on behind them prison. They violate their rights on a regular basis.
Anybody that's listening, anybody, Al, any of y'all got any family members in jail, prison, or anything? Nobody? Anybody?
Yes, sir. My niece is in the prison in Ohio. Yes, sir.
Okay.
She is in prison. She's been in the women's prison.
Okay.
God bless her.
Terrible.
Let me say this.
Terrible.
Let me say another thing. People come out. This is a thing that I don't like, that I hear people say when they come out of prison. Oh, I heard a mother say this about her son. Oh, I'm not messing with him. Oh, I thought he learned after the first time. Learn what? If they in there abusing you and beating you up, you got a record now, so it's hard for you to get a job when you get out. What are you supposed to be learning?
There you go.
They messing up. They coming their first time in prison. Oh, you coming out touched. You will never be the same. So what are they learning? What they need when they come out, they need some love. They need some help. Now, if they need counseling. Now, if you're not in a position to do that, I don't know what to say, but I hate to hear people say that. Oh, they should have learned their lesson. You done got beat up by the KKK, thrown in solitary confinement, and spit and put feces in your food. What are you supposed to learn? And then there's a code, you can't speak about it. And you know, men don't talk. Women, we tell it all. We snitch all day long. But men in the prison system, it's a call. You don't snitch. I wrote that in the book. You don't snitch. No, come in any stint, whether it's 30 days or 30 years, you're gonna lose something upstairs. And the last thing a person should do is turn their back on it, and they're going to come out angry. It might be misdirected anger, too. But to me, you find a way to reach them. If you don't, they're going to go and they're going to start getting high because they want to escape all that abuse that they took behind those prison walls that they can't talk about.
Wow. Well, you guys heard it first here on the Hilltop Radio Show. Well, you guys, Monday night we have another. We got artists. We got a female artist, and then second hour of the show we got Tara. What's Tara? Well, y'all know I'm horrible with names and stuff. Tara Towns. She's she created the Bullying Buddy, what is an app for all kids, elementary kids, middle school kids, high school kids. It's an app where they can get help with being bullied and stuff. She's going to be on the show next Monday night with us and talking about the reason why she did that, because her son was bullied, and we're going to be she's going to be coming on with us, and we're going to be talking about that, and we're going to be on here with a couple of artists as well, dropping their new music as well too. So we got a busy night next Monday night here on the Hilltop Radio Show, you guys. So yeah,
good.
Yeah, we do a lot of music, Robin. So I said, you know what, I had to go back to awarenesses, bringing awareness back to the radio and stuff too, along with the music, because a lot of people can get a lot of things out on what you said tonight, and Miss Tara talks about the bullying as well too. Yeah,
because people need to know about that as well.
Yeah,
everybody has a calling. They just got to find out what it is and just go at it. And it's usually connected to your pain.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's great.
Yeah. Well, again, Ms. Robin, thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. And anything
thank you.
need
I love
from
you
us,
too.
we got you. We got you. Believe
cool.
That. We got
yes, we do.
Yeah, we got
D.O.C. is coming soon.
That's right.
All right,
now. All right, Mr. No Weapon, you want to play one of the inmates?
Ain't that many inmates. That's the whole thing. Ain't that many inmates.
I'll play it.
They in the background.
Show me the money. Show me the money.
That's right. Show me the money. Show me the money. I got $2 million on the table, so I'm good already.
So somebody want to throw some donations your way, Robin. How can they do that? Throw a donation your way.
I ain't doing no more GoFundMe's and all that. That's what I did for the Rock Island. Oh,
I thought somebody want to write you a check.
Oh, well, somebody want to write me a check, they contact you to contact me.
Okay.
I need investors. Yeah, you want to invest? Come on. They better come in now, because they ain't going to be able to come in later.
All right, y'all.
Nah, come in now.
Get that ching-ching in, damn it.
Yep. They're going to be sorry later on, because I know this is going to be a hit. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it. I could just stick with the book. That's good enough. And God keep opening all these doors. That's what I already know. When I was ready to give up, he sent the billionaire. I'm like, oh, my God. I didn't even know the guy was a billionaire either. He's an heir. H-E-I-R. I didn't even realize that either. Good guy, too.
Money.
Yeah, and it's no paperwork. Very respectful. Never looked at me sexually. Never complained. He seen that ruckus going on because it was straight up guerrilla filmmaking. Like 5 days straight filming in horrible conditions. Nah,
Damn.
so no, I can get it. I ain't worried about it. I'm the other 2.5. I'll get it. God will send whoever. I just wanted to make sure it's God sending the person and not the devil.
Oh yeah, that's true.
The devil hands nowhere near this project. The devil been trying to get to it too.
Hell yeah.
All right. 2 hours, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. I'll talk all night, but everybody got to go.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, though. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This feels good. I haven't done an interview, like I said, almost 3 years.
Oh, you ain't done yet. I'm going to still connect you with a lot of people I know that would love to have you on their show. Ain't over.
Oh, because people need to know.
We just beginning. It's just the beginning. Trust me.
This is really important. So.
I know.
All right, everybody.
I know Miss Peggy already sent your friend request.
I'm gonna look on it. I'm gonna look when I hang up from this. I'm gonna look.
I'm waiting till I get off, sir, because I don't want to miss nothing. Yes, sir.
Hey, you gotta make sure every Friday it's my blog. Happy Fabulous Friday. I've been doing it for 7 years on my Facebook page.
All right.
It's like sitting in my living room. We having a conversation. I talk about real life stuff. They make me do it, though. A lot of times I don't want to do it, but I have to do it. It's every Friday for the last 7 years. I got people all over the world tuning in to read my blog on my Facebook page. So,
all right.
Everyone
night,
have a great evening.
You do the same.
If I don't speak to you, a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's.
Release la
if we don't speak again.
Yes.
Okay?
All right. Have a good night. Yes, ma'am.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
All right. Good night.
All right.
Good night. Make sure y'all read my book too. Get my book. It's on Amazon. I don't have any more copies left. Otherwise, I'll send it to you.
If you're upstate New York, you can't get it.
No, if you're in a prison, you can't get it.
Oh, you can't get it if you're in prison.
In prison, yeah.
Ain't gonna be no
All right, everybody have a good night.
All right.
Night.
All right.
All right, you guys, that was Robin K. Miller, author, model, entrepreneur, motivational speaker right here on the Hilltop. Like I said, on some nights, man, we're going to be bringing back awareness back to the shows instead of just music all the time. I gotta go back to my original format, bringing different, authors and stuff on the radio, so we can get something, get something out of life instead of music all the time. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Al Davis?
I got you, my brother. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get one of them entrepreneurs on here that can, make them jeans from that song you got, them jeans.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Try to find the creator that made Mr. No Weapons Michael Jackson Thriller jackets. Get them on here.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, really. The red and the white and the black one, really.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's do this real quick. Miss Peggy, let everybody know where they can follow you at on social media real quick.
Yes, sir. You can find me on Clubhouse, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, TikTok, and the best show on the whole entire planet, and that is the Hilltop Radio Show. And shout out to you, DJ Shaun, for everything you do, sir.
All right, Robin Lynn Maven.
Okay. You can find me over this weekend over there at vibeslive.com. We're going to have hard rap going Friday and Saturday night, and gospel music explosion, and jazz, Vibes Live Jazz and Blues on Sunday. And then here at the Hilltop Radio Show, and then everywhere else at Robin Lynn Maven. Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, everywhere.
Well, they're going to be doing a bunch of cussing and fussing and shooting guns, and then they're going to church. Ain't that something on Vibes Live Radio?
That's right. Just from hard rap straight to church. It's just like that, literally.
Smoking weed and drinking their 40s. Go ahead, Mr. No Weapon. Where can they follow you at? That's something, boy.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Mr. No Weapon, MR No Weapon, or you can find me here 4 or 5 nights a week on Hilltop Radio Show with DJ Shaun.
All right. My big brother, Mr. Al Davis, where can they follow you at, my brother? I know you somewhere this weekend, right?
Yes, I am somewhere Saturday.
Okay.
And they can find me on Facebook, Instagram, it's Al Davis, and definitely can find me on the Hilltop Radio Show with the one and only DJ Shaun.
And where are you at this weekend, my brother?
As a matter of fact, I'm going to be in Dublin.
Dublin?
It's probably about an hour drive for me.
Oh, okay. So you home. You're in home.
Right.
You're in home.
It's so good.
Mr. No Weapon, you got a show coming up soon, right?
It was New Year's Day. It was changed to January the 26th.
Wow. Damn. They might as well wait until Valentine's Day to do the damn show then.
I'll be at the nearest stripper pole on Valentine's Day.
I bet you will. Your Michael Jackson Thriller jacket too. He on the pole stripping to Billie Jean.
The red one and the black one.
With a baby pamper on.
Oh man. All right, y'all have a good don't forget tomorrow morning I'll have be breaking some reggae music tomorrow morning on DJ Shaun in the morning. And you guys have an awesome weekend. And don't forget Monday night right here on the Hilltop Radio Show, we got a full house, a full throttle. We got some good independent artist music, and we also going to be here with CEO of the Bully and Buddy app, with Miss Tara Townsend. So you guys have a good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Peace, love, and hair grease, and we out of here.
All right. Peace.
A dose of hope coming at ya.
This is Hope Cherie administering your daily dose of hope. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty we are free at last. This is the way God wants you to be. Free. Don't dim your light because it's too bright for others. Be free to love, and free to be. Just shine, 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 my love. This dose is brought to you by adoseofhope.com.